Back up on the ICI.
Good afternoon to you all. I, on behalf of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Tax Bar Association, welcomes you all to today's webinar on the topic of automatic tally ledger scrutiny and financial statements preparation with the help of software. Today's speaker, CA Niranjan Ji, and session chairman, Premnath Ji. Sir, very good afternoon to you, sir, both of you.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
And welcome you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, the members of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Tax Bar Association are very much happy for accepting our invitation to share the knowledge on the topic automatic tally ledger scrutiny and financial statements preparation with the help of software. Thank you very much, and we are very much grateful to you, sir. Now I request our President, CA Ritesh Mittal Ji, to present the welcome address and brief about the today's program. Over to you, President Ji.
Yes, sir. Very good afternoon, everyone. I welcome you all to this today's webinar on the topic of automatic tally ledger scrutiny and financial statements preparation. Now, basically, the discussion happened around 2 months back, wherein in a WhatsApp group we were all discussing about the dire need of articles. Basically, now if we see, the number of CA registrations have fallen drastically, and due to which earlier where we used to have around 10 articles for most of the firms, where full number of articles were there. Now we are hardly left with any number of articles. So in this, and the paid staff, as we know, the quality is bad. And whereas the compliances are increasing day by day, the expectations of the regulators are increasing day by day, wherein Premnath had given a fight that in such a situation, what we have to do is we have to use technology in this case. See, what happens when we don't get a maid for washing clothes is nothing but we have to go with a washing machine. So this is the time where we have to use good and adequate software so that much of the data which we used to do physically can be done with the system and with much accuracy. Because now if we see, it's the department who is using the best of the software. We see the income tax portal is intelligent portal. We see the GST portal is intelligent portal. Whereas if we see the ability of the CA is all human related. Though we have computers in the office, though we may say that we have a man-to-machine ratio of 1:1, but the software equipment is not up to the mark. So what happens is when these returns which are filed with humans are not able to match the machines which are there on the outside or the other side, and we are getting bulk of notices. So this is the time which we have to equip ourselves, and with this, that day Premnath had guided us this, we can have this program, and Mr. Niranjan is the best solution, and we need to have a program on tax bar. So with this idea, we are conducting this program, sir, and we thank Niranjan Ji for taking his time and taking this session, and Premnath to be the session chairman for this session. Yes, over to Secretary.
Thank you, Ritesh Ji. So now I request Premnath Ji to give opening remarks on the topic.
Thank you very much, Tax Bar Association. I thank Ritesh for coordinating for this wonderful session. I thank Niranjan, my very good friend. Is always available, then he takes good suggestions. I know him very well. As Ritesh was talking about articles, shortage of articles, yes. To put it in a lighter way, today we are earlier family members used to give us tiffin. Tea prepare, they prepare tea, tiffin and all. Am I right, sir?
Correct.
But nowadays, what are we doing, sir? We have a coffee vending machine. We have Swiggy, Piggy, Ola. We don't depend on our driver. We don't depend on our cook. And why should we depend on our article students now? Am I right, sir? So we are no more depending on anyone because of the technology. So today it is high time that we need to use technology so that we need not depend on anyone anytime. But okay, the day when the cell phones were introduced, on those days, we used to write the cell phone numbers, relatives numbers in a book and then dial from the cell phones. Now we are addicted in such a way that we call the number, we don't even dial. Meaning we are able to configure a complicated cell phone of maybe Android or maybe Apple. We are configuring it. We are configuring through various apps, and we are getting along with it without depending on anyone. So today it is time that we need to depend so many apps. We need to develop so many apps on our own so that we can reduce dependence on people. And if you just go back to the history, when the Second World War has started, at the time there was a labor shortage. Then that's the time when the wheel is invented. A round wheel is invented. The moment the wheel is invented, the engineering started development. When the engineering started development, the dependence on the labor has come down drastically because it was the machines which were doing it. And from there, electronics developed, then the digits have developed, the technology, electrical, electronics, and all have developed, and people are getting comfortable. However, it is the chartered accountants and the tax practitioners who are not converting themselves towards the technology. And this space is today occupied by clear tax, genius, taxman, and you talk all those computax. And computax, genius, and what products I'm talking about, they are all engineers. Those engineers are occupying the space of chartered accountants and tax practitioners. And it is high time that we need to develop apps. Okay. So if you just look at what are the troubles that we are undergoing. Number one trouble is the clients dump a hard copy of bank statements on our face on the 30th of September. He comes around 9 o'clock or 9:30 in the evening after having a dinner and a pan with a lungi. He walks into, as if he is walking into his darling's house, darling's bedroom, throws the papers, and he says, 10,000, in this 10,000, whatever you want to do, you do it. And those are all hard copies. From there, our trouble starts. Now, why hard copies? What is that hard copy? That hard copy is a bank statement. That hard copies are a bunch of bills. Now, even the roadside Palli Batana vendors, they are accepting Paytm, Google Pays and all. Meaning, today everything is digitized. When everything is digitized, everything is available in a digitized data format, which can easily be converted into any format in any form. So number one, this is the number one lesson we should write down is data now available in digital format. Number one. Number two, like I'm saying, bank statements and all. Okay. Now, client, why is he giving all that bunch of papers to us? What is he doing? He is selling and buying, number one. And all his associates in the office are spending some money for petty expenses. Through that, bunch of hard copies are generated and that are thrown on the face of the chartered accountant now, or the tax practitioners. Now, what I say is, why can't we as a chartered accountants or tax practitioners develop an app? Tell him, "Arey sir, next time whenever you have a sale, you enter that sale in this." Or already sales are done in GST. So digital format is already there. Purchases, part of the purchases are already there in the digital format. So what is there, sir? My driver will fill all the petrol. Or you use this app whenever he fills the petrol, let him fill or let him scan the bill copy so that from the scan copy, data will be pulled into a particular app and then it will put it in an Excel format or some format, name of the bunk, number of liters, amount. That's all, nothing else. It will be there in a bill. So certain things which through a scan, you can able to get all that information into a standard Excel format. Now, once something comes into an Excel format, now we all know that we all use Tally. Now, from Excel format, you can digitize and pull all those Excel into a Tally. Now, here we are trying to avoid the dependence on an accountant who is monopolized and trying to be a bridge between the chartered accountant and the client. And the culprits are those accountants. Now we are trying to avoid them by saying that whoever is spending in the business, who is spending in the business, a marketing man. What marketing he does, he goes on a travel. Whenever he goes on a travel, let him scan something in an app that will convert into an accounting entry. So what I'm trying to suggest is we all should try to develop an app and distribute it to the employees who are generating the basic document. So the accounting is carried out at the spot where the entry or where the transaction is taken place. At that point only the accounting entry is generated. But nowadays what is happening? 100 employees are involved. 100 employees are generating transactions and throwing all those papers on the face of the accountant. Now I am saying let the generation of transactions happen. Transaction and accounting, let it happen at the place where the transaction is taking place, so that the accountant will not be monopolized and it becomes easy also. That is one suggestion I am making it. Next, number two, once the data is captured in a digitized format, then any software can able to pull it up. Why any software? If you go into the Google spreadsheets, there are so many spreadsheets where you put an entry, it will prepare a balance sheet for you. You just write something in the after, probably at the end of the session, I'll just demonstrate a simple Google spreadsheets where you just pull your bank statement into it, and then it will generate a balance sheet and profit and loss account for you. Now such kind of tools are available. So what I'm trying to say again and again is, whoever is generating a transaction, he himself should become an accountant instead of one person becoming accountant for many people at the cost of boring. Again, I am repeating it. Wherever transaction takes place, let the accounting end up at that particular point itself. For that, we should all work to get some kind of apps. Now coming back to today's session, Niranjan will take us through automation from, I think it is Tally and all. He'll take us through the various forms of automation. But for all those things, basic thing is configuration. Today, if I want to use my mobile phone, unless it is properly configured, I cannot use it. In the same way, of course, Tally is an open-ended which is not configured. SAP is open-ended. Like that, many softwares are open-ended and they are not configured properly. Now that configuration work, if you are able to do it one time if you are able to configure it, then next time onwards, it will be very easy for the accountants or for the chartered accountant or for the professional community. That is what our Niranjan sir is going to take up. Okay, I just leave it to Niranjan sir, and then at the time of group discussion, I'll step in again. Last, I'll just demonstrate certain Google formats where you all can ready-made use it. Okay, thank you, sir. Sorry, your mic is muted, sir. Ready, sir. My mic mute.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your nice opening remarks made. Now I request our treasurer, CA Hdfc Jain, to introduce today's speaker, CA Niranjan ji, to the floor. Hitesh ji, over to you.
I think kindly unmute yourself. Sorry.
You have to call him.
Hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible.
Yes.
Please go
Thank
ahead.
you, Secretary sir, for giving me an opportunity to introduce the speaker. Friends, today's speaker, Shri Niranjan, he is an MCom. He's an FCA company secretary, and he has also completed his DISA certification from the institute. He is into practice since January 2011, and his primary area of practice are loan syndication, tax audits, company audits, internal audits, RERA, etc. He has founded ND Cube Technologies Private Limited in the year 2018, and he has launched Ledger Vision in April 2019. Currently, more than 350 CA firms and more than 1,000 users are using this particular product called as Ledger Vision. And his primary aim is to simplify the audit procedures and help in doing the ease of doing the audit. So with this brief introduction, I give the proceedings back to Secretary Sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Hisesh Bhai, for your nice introduction. Now over to Niranjan ji, sir.
Thank you, Reddy sir, Premnath sir. Now, Premnath sir is always there for us. So when we started with the company, he only there for supporting us to spread in South India. So he's our friend, philosopher, and guide. Thank you, Hitesh sir. I will start sharing my screen, and then I can start with the PPT and demo. Okay. So, okay, and I will just keep my video off so that good streaming will be there. Okay. So let's start with the PPT, then we can start with the demo. So there are two softwares from our side, Ledger Vision and Ledger Fusion. So our Ledger Vision helps you in automatic tally ledger scrutiny, and Ledger Fusion prepares Schedule 3 balance sheet as well as other non-corporate balance sheets like HUF, individual, partnership firm, etc. So this is me and this is my partner Anu Deshpande. She is the brain behind, and I was the domain expert. So we team up and then we start. We have now why Ledger Vision came into picture. Premnath sir rightly pointed out all the problems. As you know, I was into loan syndication, and from there I have resolved many around 20-22 internal audits. And to complete each and every audit within time, to finalize the report, to present the report, and then gets the billing on monthly basis is very difficult task. You have to depend heavily on skilled staff, skilled employees, or the good articles. And whenever the exam or CA dropout employees, and whenever the exams are there, they used to go for exam leave, and everything is hampered. So that was the time when we feel there should be something, some automation tool should be there so that we don't have to depend on that employee, skilled employees. And then we started working, we set up our company, we started working on Ledger Vision. It took around 13-14 months to complete the software. Then we launched it in August 2019. So right now, there are around 400 CA firms across the India, and more than 1,500 users are there. So what is Ledger Vision? So right now, Ledger Vision works on Tally, and both on Tally ERP9 as well as Tally Prime, and even it works on education mode. Now we are preparing some connectors or some additional tools so that we can use SAP data or Zoho, QuickBooks, whatever other accounting softwares are there, so that the scrutiny will be easier on all those platforms also. So what are the current challenges right now? The resource crunch is there. Okay. So trained and experienced candidate, they are not available anywhere. So this crunch is all over in India. Okay. So be it North India, South India, East India, or in Maharashtra, Central India, the problem is there. So getting a good experienced candidate is problem. Then there is an inconsistency of standard auditing documents. Then stringent timelines are there. And what happened? There is a gap between transaction volume and fees. So effort to reward ratio is not good in our case. Okay. And what I feel from days of articleship to my practice days, I have seen that around September, as Premnath sir said, the clients come up with the details of documents. He dumped everything in our office and he goes on vacations. So Diwali vacations are there or any vacations are there. So he is in Mauritius and we are working day and night for completion of his audit. And that is unfair. So that's why there should be something so that we should not be stretching our office timings. We should be working only 10 to 6. Then we should have good family life and work-life balance also. So to achieving that, you need to have some or other automatic tool. Otherwise, it is very difficult. Now, again, if you use automation tool, then the effort to reward ratio will be positive. It will be favorable to us. So this is the point, one point also for having automation tools. Then and again, inexperienced accounting team from the side of a client is a very huge problem. So whenever we try to instill discipline in them, they leave the job. Again, we have to train new team. Then that team maybe is experienced team, may not be experienced team. So the problems are there. Then again, with the regulatory actions, you must be know that increasing non-compliance cases against CAs are there. Then increased disclosures are there for through CARO or through Schedule 3 also. And we have to do everything in those stringent timelines. That is the big problem right now. We have to fight with the government to extend the due dates. So that is the problem. Why that is the problem? Because we are doing everything on Excel. We are working on Excel. That is a clerical work only. It is not the work of chartered accountant, but we have to do. We have to have a clerical work. Otherwise, we are not able to finish it within the due date, given due time. Okay, so that is the problem. So we want to remove the clerical work from our working hours. And then what client expects, he comes, he normally arrives on 11th hour, he expects something much more than whatever our fee structure is. So that is the problem. We normally follow them up from April and they end up in September by providing us all the data. So that is a huge problem right now. And team expectations are also there. They want professional growth. They want high quality of work also. They want reasonable remuneration with work-life balance and minimum travel, etc. So these are the current problems. Now, why Ledger Vision is so? Ledger Vision provides you around 67 reports, which covers your tax audit, GST audit, statutory audit, or internal audit. Then it will provide you GSTR 99C reporting also. So around 67 reports are there, and all the reports will be provided in Excel and with a quicker time. Okay, so it is very fast tool. For example, if the 10,000 entries are there, it will take around 2 to 5 minutes to complete the scrutiny. It is so fast. It provides initial base level audit documentation also. Some of the clients given me feedback that our Excel based outputs are used as the reports help them in peer review also. So it is the Ledger Vision will help you to standardize your documentation process also. And we continuously review, continuously update the software. When it was presented to Premnath sir 3 years back, it has having only 22 reports. Now it is having 67 reports. So such a huge development is there. What are the key benefits? So 200 plus inbuilt rules are there for GST, TDS, company law, tax audit, statutory dues, CARO, etc. And it saves significant time. Okay. Again, 100% checking of ledgers and vouchers is done. So no test checking, no judgmental calls are there. Uniformity is there in reporting, and it increases accuracy. So these are the key benefits. Again, you don't have to depend on the employees. I can say proudly that even my office boy is also able to scrutinize any tally data now. It is so simple. As Premnath sir rightly said, one-time configuration is required, and then it will be plug and play from next year onward. So, and by going through all the demos and all the instruction, even my office boy is working, so anybody can work who knows how to operate the computer and Excel, nothing else. Okay. So it works on any accounting style. So you must be you must have seen various accounting styles because Tally is very flexible software. There is no discipline as such. You can have any grouping as per your requirement. Even if you open a fixed asset ledger under bank account, so Tally will allow you. So there is nothing standardized procedure for Tally grouping. Okay. So we then again any user can have his own voucher types. We can handle that accounting. We can handle those voucher types also. Then you don't have to use standard tally grouping to use Ledger Vision because our software is configurable one. So you have to just go through the tally grouping. You have to understand the scheme of grouping. Then you have to configure Ledger Vision accordingly. 95% of configuration is done by Ledger Vision automatically. Now 5% you have to intervene because you have to decide who are the related parties. You have to decide from where you have received TDS declaration. Now you have to decide the about declarations issued, about debtors and creditors for previous year turnover more than 10 crore, etc. So those things software will not be able to handle on its own. So you have to manually intervene. So that is the thing. Then you don't have to activate the inbuilt features of Tally for GST and TDS because it is a standalone separate software. We pull everything from Tally to Ledger Vision, and there is a rule engine. More than 220 rules are there. So you don't have to activate the inbuilt features of Tally. And it handles multiple GST TDS accounting style. For example, in case of GST, there can be bifurcation of accounts GST ledgers like input, output wise, and rate wise. So you can have input CGST 5%, input SGST 5%, output SGST 5%, and so on. So you can have a hierarchy of GST input, output accounts, or you can have only three simple ledgers: CGST, SGST, IGST, and all the GST rates will be captured from either stock items or expenses ledger or from GST classification maintained in Tally. So, or in case of TDS, you can have TDS category wise ledgers, or you can have only one TDS ledger, and all the TDS payable entries are posted to that ledger only. So all these kind of accounting styles are captured by the ledger vision. So, what is magic behind it is very fast. Yesterday only I have completed a scrutiny of 3,55,000 vouchers and around 18,000 ledgers, but around 19,000 voucher stock items were there. So it took around 4.5 hours to complete the scrutiny. Otherwise, they were wasting around 1.5 month, 2 or maybe 2 months, depending upon availability of the articles, etc. So you can say how much amount of time we have saved for them. Then that data is confidential. Always data will be kept confidential. How? Because it is a desktop-based version. No need of internet is there. So whatever data we pull from Tally to Ledger Vision, it will be saved on your system only. So we don't have any control on your data. So everything will be saved, secured at your end only. And then seamless Tally integration is there. You don't have to export anything from Tally and then import into Ledger Vision. Within a click of a button, with the help of that click button, you can pull everything from Tally to Ledger Vision. It is very scalable. You can have a scrutiny of any single Tally company for any number of times, or you can have scrutiny of any number of Tally companies. More than 220 rules are there, and as I said, it is 90-95% configurable. So 4 steps are there. You have to extract the data from Tally, then one-time configuration is there. Then you have to run the scrutiny and results will be generated. All the results are visible on screen as well as you can download everything to Excel. So bifurcation using pivot table, everything will be very easy in Excel and you can directly send those reports to client also. So there are 67 reports. I will be explaining some of the results in PPT, then we can go into details of demo. So in case of GST, we provide you we check each and every GST voucher. So we provide 100% checking of GST, and you can use this software on monthly basis for checking wrong GST accounting and wrong TDS accounting, so that you can find out, you can update the data with correct GST and TDS entries, you can pay correct amount of tax, you can have correct 2A 2B reconciliation in case of GST, and you can file correct returns for GST as well as TDS. So that is the main important use of this software also. Then in case of GST, we provide you 2A 2B reconciliation. As we are not GST Suvidha provider license holder, but you can download .json files from portal, and because we are having all the data from Tally, we can compare the data with portal, and I don't know how to. Okay, it will be vanish automatically, I think. Okay, so yeah, so you will get 2A 2B reconciliation. You will get ready-made RCM table. You can identify block credits because we are bifurcating data rate-wise, expenditure-wise, party-wise, input, output-wise, etc. And again, we will be showing you duplication of GST numbers, etc. So all the GST-related scrutiny is done by the software. Similarly, in case of TDS, we will show you no TDS, short TDS, excess TDS. Then you can have a ready-made 34 table, which is very important for TDS reporting. And again, you will get most of the tax audit tables which are available from GST data, like 43B, 26 and SST, asset addition, deletion, 34, etc. So many reports are there. About accounting basics, we capture capital expenditure wrongly routed to revenue expenditure or capital income wrongly routed to revenue income. We capture spelling mistakes in ledger groups or ledger names. Then we can find out probable unsecured loans are hidden under debtors and creditors. We can find out higher discount. Now you have to determine the higher discount amount depending upon your audit materiality. Depending upon your audit materiality, you can decide the threshold limit for capital expenditure, threshold limit for your discount, threshold limit of higher maximum cash you can have in end of the year, and accordingly software will provide you the errors. Other reports are aging analysis there, cash related scrutiny like 43 to 6 SST, ST 44 AB, negative cash, etc. is there. Then analytical reports, more than 22 reports are there right now. OB reconciliation, like previous year closing balances and current year opening balances reconciliation, and automatic mapping is also, automatic updation of opening balance is also there. Duplicate vouchers, we found out the duplicate vouchers, we list on everything. We check ledger masters, find out the missing things from the ledger masters. So again, there are many results, like for creditors, we capture creditors having receipts or debtors having expenses or debtors having credit opening balance, credit closing balance, etc. All accounting principle violations are captured. Then while finalizing tally company, you will get the pending EMI or interest entries, or you will get pending interest income entries from investment deposits, pending drawing entries in case of individual HUF firm, and finalization entries like provisions, prepaid, TDS, reversal of opening entries, etc. will be provided by software. So you have to just go through. Now, right now, rather before the updation of this version, everything you have to be, it is to be done by manually by the accountant. But we have come up with some of the new updates. So we have updated our software with 194.2 and TCS of 206C1H. Then we are working on MIS reports and dashboards so that you can provide virtual CFO services to your clients. Then some sampling tools will be provided so that for vouching you can use those sampling techniques. And last one, the auto-update tally ledgers is the most prominent feature we are updating. Right now it is a beta version, but it will be help you. Like suppose right now what is happening, we are providing only errors. If you are satisfied with the errors, if you say yes, go ahead, we will change everything in tally. We will alter the ledger master, we will alter the entries, we will add additional entries, so that your finalization of tally, you don't have to again depend on the employee. Everything will be done automatically by software. Again, as Premnath sir said, you can import your bank statement directly into this tool. And if the ledgers are prepared already, those ledgers will be used. If ledgers are not there, you can go on writing whatever the ledgers you want and the groups you want in Excel only. And accordingly, software will punch in everything in a tally automatically. So while punching only, it will go for provision entries, prepared entries, TDS entries, whatever the case, whatever the requirement or pending entries are there. So again, you don't have to go through, see whether the accounting is done correctly or not. Okay. So more and more we are trying to eliminate the dependency on human efforts, and it should be software should be there to do everything automatically, so that we can save great deal of time. That time can be used to any other productive areas of our practice or even for our family also. So that is the motto behind. So these are the benefits. As I said, huge data can be taken care of within some hours. Capital expenditure wrongly posted to revenue is captured. Some of the frauds are detected. Some standard reports are used for peer review also. So these are the benefits. And another ledger fusion is there. So there are many softwares who are providing automatic balance sheets in market, but they are providing output in crystal reports or PDF format or Word format, and nobody is providing output in Excel. That's why we designed the tool. Like Ledger Vision only, it pulls data from Tally seamlessly. Data means it pulls previous year and current year opening and closing balances with all debit and credit totals. It is a one-time Excel-based configuration is there. Output is in Excel format with all formulas and linking. Now, this software will help you for consolidation of balance sheet also. So if you are having a group company, head office and all branches, then it will consolidate that balance sheet for you also. This will help you for Schedule 3 partnership, individual and HUF, and within next 2 weeks there will be trust, AOP, BOI, and in next months or so we are working for this Ind-AS balance sheet also. Even we help you for calculation of depreciation under company law, income tax. We will calculate deferred tax, current tax, MAT, as whatever the case may be, and we will right now we are calculating cash flow, ready-made cash flow is there. Even hyperlinks are there. You can jump from balance sheet to P&L, etc. So in demo only we can see all the details. So these are our contact details. I will be displaying this screen in the end of the session also. So you can write me to ledgervision@gmail.com and you can contact me on this number. So let's start with the demo. For demo purpose, I will be using my older company, but you will understand how software works. So this is the company from 1819. Now in this bottom only you can see client oblique server with ODBC is activated by us. So this is the window provided by Tally. So you have to go to this. Can we have custom Excel? Okay, some queries is there. 1 minute. 1 minute. I will just answer. Acha, how? I don't know how to capture the queries again. We'll try to. Okay. Uh, the window is provided by Tally. You have to go to this F12. So if you are using ERP 9, then you have to go to this F12 advanced configuration. And in this advanced configuration, you will get Tally ERP acting as. Normally it is kept as none, but you have to make it both. Okay. So that software will connect with Tally. And you have to enable the ODBC server. This is the default number 9,000, but suppose the number is 10,000, then you have to go and punch that 10,000 number over here, and software will connect with the Tally. Now, if you are using ERP, instead of ERP, if you are using Prime, then you have to go to the help. In help, you will be go to help, go to settings, go to connectivity, and there you will get same settings of ODBC server. But I think in Prime, the ODBC server settings are enabled by Tally itself, so you don't have to manually change, but you have to change the port number. So you have to go to help, settings, connectivity, see what is the port number and use that port number in Ledger Vision. Now we are pulling the data. Achha, before pulling data, you have to select the company. Those many companies opened in Tally will be displayed over here. And then you have to select the company and you have to select the period. Suppose you are going for the scrutiny of 1 year, 1 month, you have to select 1 month in the period and you have to select same period in Ledger Vision. So you can have scrutiny of 1 month, quarter, 6 months, or full year, depending upon the requirement you have to select. So basic thing is period should be matching in both Tally as well as Ledger Vision. Let's pull the Tally data. Seamlessly data will be pulled. So in background only you can see data is getting pulled. So we pull ledgers, masters, vouchers, stock item, cost centers, narration, and we pull data on monthly basis so that if huge data is there, then Tally will not be hanged. And so when we launch the software, we try to pull all the data within one stroke. And whenever the data is huge, like 40,000, 60,000 entries were there, then sometimes Tally may be used to get hang, and thereby Ledger Vision, because Ledger Vision is wholly dependent on Tally. If Tally is not there, then Ledger Vision will also getting hang. So that's why. So piecemeal data pulling is there. So we pull data on monthly basis. Now, one thing you have to be sure or you have to keep in mind, suppose the data is huge, then minimum requirement of system size is 4 GB RAM is required. But suppose data is 60,000 entries are there, then it is requested to have a machine with higher GB of RAM, like 12 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB RAM, so that efficiently scrutiny can be done, efficiently data can be pulled by the software. Otherwise, it will take much more time. Okay, so data has been pulled. Now we have to go for one-time configuration. So I will not be going into details of the configuration, but you will understand the concept. There are 37 categories here on which we have written the scrutiny rules. So basically these are the groups only, and software is automatically mapping. So you can see bank is automatically mapped by the software in front of bank or branch in front of division. Now this capital 1, 2, 3, it is not a default group. Okay. So in that case, you will see this as NA. We will be seeing this as NA. If you found NA in front of any group, this means either that group is not available in the Tally or the default name has been changed. So suppose I go to balance sheet of this company, you can see they have changed the name of capital, loans and liability, fixed asset, they added WIP word, new investment. So these are the groups where in which the name has been changed, default name has been changed. So all those groups will be shown as NA. So either that group is not available or name has been changed. So you have to remove the NA box and you have to go to that changed name and tick the boxes. So this is known as configuration. Very simple. So 2-3 things you have to keep in mind. Suppose by default, software is capturing, in case of say GST, in case of GST input, software is capturing duties and taxes in front of GST. So technically, default as a default or as a legacy or as a idea, duties and GST should be kept under duties and taxes. But I have found that in some of the cases, input will be kept under purchases and output is kept under sales. So simple thing, you have to click the drop down button here, go to purchases and click the purchases so that software will understand, okay, GST input ledgers are kept under purchase group. So this is known as mapping. Again, in P&L account, if everything is, all the indirect expenditures are kept under one group of indirect expenses, no problem. But suppose selling expenditures, administrative expenditures, employee cost, finance cost, all the separate groups are prepared out of indirect expenses, then you have to go to these indirect expenses and click all the groups, whatever the groups prepared by the user. So this is how the configuration is done. Now for helping you, all the instructions, you have to just hover the your cursor on this help button, you will get all the instructions and you can have audio help also. So you click the button and our, just like a Google map, how the lady instructs you to take right turn, left turn. Similarly, our laser vision lady will help you throughout the configuration. That's why I said I'm not going into details of how configuration to be done. That lady will help you out. And again, I will be providing you manual, simple manual is there, or you can see the videos from our YouTube channel also. So I will skip the details of the configuration, but important configuration I will be showing. Like here, from tally company information, it is automatically mapping whether it is company, person, HO, whatever the case may be, or what is the state of the GST registration. But if it is blank, this means either PAN number or GST number is not there in company information, then you have to manually punch in. Then in GST mapping, it maps all GST input, output, ledgers, rates, etc. Because we want to bifurcate data category wise, GST ledgers wise, rate wise. Again in TDS, it maps all the TDS categories. Now, because I'm showing this older data, the TDS TCS mapping is not there, but here we will be mapping 194Q and 194C also. So 206C also. Okay. Let's jump to next configuration so that we can run the scrutiny now. So again in TDS mapping, as I said, only one TDS payable ledger is there. Then all the TDS categories entry are posted to that ledger only. Then it is very difficult for anybody to bifurcate data category wise. Then how you will be providing your 34A table? For that, we have provided you the asset and expenditure addition configuration, wherein you will, the software is automatically providing TDS categories to expenses and fixed assets. So I will be explaining one or two configurations, then we can run the scrutiny. So there are configurations for creditors, debtors, GST related ledgers, prepaid expenses, expense asset and addition, loans and advances, liabilities, etc. So all areas are covered. Even investment, preliminary expenses are also covered. Now let's have a look to creditors so you will understand how in-depth configuration takes care about the scrutiny. So whenever this is the list of creditors as per the mapping done in your category mapping, and whenever the ledger master is containing either GST number or PAN number, that will be reflected over here. From GST number, we can decide whether it is within state, the creditor is within state or out of the state. But if nothing is mentioned, then we go through the entries. So if IGST entries are there, it will be determined as out of the state. If CGST, HGST entries are there, it will be treated as within state. Now from GST number or PAN number, we determine the income tax status of the party. But if nothing is there, we consider this as firm because we have taken the conservative view. For example, in case of 194C, we calculate TDS at 2%. But from nomenclature only, if you know it is a person, you can change it manually to person. So one time overview is required. As I said, if you have received the declaration for TDS from GTA, etc., you can tick. If you know the related parties, you can tick the parties. This option of related parties is available in creditors, debtors, loans and advances, and loans and liability. And if turnover limit is exceeding 10 crore, then you can take the details. So next important configuration is expenses and asset addition. So here you will be getting details of all expenses and fixed assets. And software is, by reading the nomenclature, software is providing the TDS categories like 194C, say whatever, all the categories are in drop-down list only. So there can be a spelling mistakes. That's why it is requested to go through once. Now, because it is capturing only words, so suppose interest word is captured, it may provide 194A category to interest on GST also. So you have to manually intervene and untick that category. Or suppose it may not be able to capture, like most of the time I have seen commission spelling is mistaken by the accountant. Then you have to manually provide a 194H category to that commission ledger, okay? And it is automatically determining where provision entries are required, where prepaid entries are required, where depreciation, so which is the depreciation ledger. Why? Because we have to provide asset addition deletion report. That's why depreciation, we need to know which are the depreciation ledgers so that we can exclude those ledgers in deletion of the asset. And transport ledger need to be mapped because under section 40A3, the single day cash transaction limit is 35,000 to transporter. Otherwise, the limit is 10,000. And manual intervention again required because it is up to you whether you are going for monthly audit or quarterly, depending upon you can have the frequency of provisions and prepaid on monthly basis, yearly basis, quarterly basis, or half yearly, whatever the case may be. Okay. So now once the configuration is done, the rules are there. You can have entire scrutiny. You can have by default all the rules are ticked by the software, but you can have selective or piecemeal scrutiny also. You have to remove the ticks and tick only GST. Software will check GST, or you have to tick only TDS. Then software will check only GST TDS entries. Right now, I am going for entire scrutiny, and you can have the configuration bank. So you can download the configuration done by you. The downloaded configuration will be saved in Excel format so that any other colleague or employee or article is going for the scrutiny of same company on any different machine, then he can just import the configuration done by you through this button. So he don't have to waste the time in configuration. Again, no mistakes will be committed by him and scrutiny will be plug and play. So let's scrutinize the data. In background window, you will see how scrutiny is going. Fast scrutiny is there. It applies 30, 40 rules at a time on a single voucher, so that scrutiny is very fast. It takes around 40 to 45 seconds to complete the scrutiny for this company. Now, this company is having 900 plus ledgers and 2,400 plus vouchers. So, manually to check each and every voucher, 100% scrutiny, it may take 4-5 hours. But with the help of this tool, only 30-40 seconds are required. And scrutiny will be done. 100% checking will be done by the software. So you can see scrutiny is completed in 34 seconds only. It has checked 911 ledgers and 2485 vouchers. So let's check with the tally whether 100% checking is done by DSS. So number of ledgers are 911 and total number of vouchers are 2489, out of which 4 are cancelled. So cancelled are left, remaining 2485 vouchers are checked. So 100% checking is done. Now this is the overview that software is saying there is a difference between opening balance difference in the tally company. Then how many entries of GST are pass and fail. Pass. So all the results are provided in the status of pass and fail. Pass means correct accounting entry and fail means wrong accounting entry. So how many entries are pass, how many are fail. Even in case of TDS, excess TDS will be determined as fail. So you just go through the overview and you will see how the data is maintained by the accountant or the client. Okay. Now you can jump to results from this hyperlink or you can go to results from this drop down also. But you can download every result from this grouping. So if you click to download analytical results, you will get all 22 reports in one single Excel sheet with all separate sheets. Then you can download GST related reports, you can download tax audit, aging analysis and other additional reports. So let's start with the important reports. Like in case of TDS, there are 3 reports. One is TDS scrutiny report, other one is party-wise summary, and last one is TDS expenditure-wise. So this expenses summary is actually combination of first 2 reports. Now you can say we have shown NA to voucher type, voucher number, references, etc. Why? Because we are working on TDS scrutiny on totality basis. For example, in case of 194C, we see whether total payments or total credits is more than 1 lakh rupees. If it is below 1 lakh, then we see whether any single entry is more than 30,000. Otherwise, TDS will not be liable to that creditor. This is how we work on totality. So in status, you have to say fail, and you will get all the fail results. So there are 8 areas from where we capture TDS, like payment to or advances to creditors. In sometimes debtors will be treated as creditor also. So same ledger for debtors and creditors are there, and suppose that ledger is kept under debtors, so payment to that debtor will be captured by the software. Then direct payments from cash or bank will be captured. Then loans and advances, provision entries, prepaid entries, fixed asset entries, all the areas are captured. And even if separate accounting entries is passed for TDS, like you don't have deducted TDS in combined entry of expenditure, but you have deducted separate entry like party to TDS or provision to TDS or fixed asset to TDS. All these kind of accounting entries are captured. So any style of accounting for TDS is captured by the software. Now, what is fail here? Software is saying no TDS is deducted. You can go to the log. Interest on unsecured loan, section 194A is applicable. At that time, 10% was the rate. So 18,000 is the amount, and software is saying calculated amount of TDS is 1800, but no TDS is deducted. Now, the ledger shown is Hdfc Bank. This means direct payment is made. The interest on that in unsecured loan is not paid to any single party. It is posted through bank. So if you go to this ledger, unsecured loan, we can see interest to bank entry is posted. Now you can go to client, ask whether it is paid to single party, then TDS is applicable. But if it is paid to multiple parties, it may be happen that TDS may not be applicable. But for that, you have to go to party to discuss the details. So we have drawn your attention over here. Or in case of audit fees, like on 50,000 they have deducted only 2,000. Technically there should be 5,000 is the TDS. So less TDS is deducted. Or in case of Chandan Singh, the contractor. So if I bifurcate data on columnar basis, you can see the total amount of payments made is 166,500 and total amount of ledger charges also 166,500. So technically at 1%, the TDS should be 1665, but they have deducted only 500. So less TDS is deducted, and technically TDS should be 1665. This is how all the problems are captured by the softwares. Then party-wise summary is provided here. You will get all the parties whenever cash payment or bank detail payments are there. Those will be considered as parties. So parties will be there, TDS categories, party status if GST PAN is there, then TDS rate, amount of the bill, calculated TDS and actual deduction of TDS, and where if there is a difference, it will be treated as pass or fail. But very, very important, the most important feature of the report of the software is this TDS expenditure wise. Here you will get TDS categories, rates, party, as well as expenditure details. So again, all the expenditures are bifurcated here. You can see TDS status is provided, whether TDS is liable, not liable, no deducted, less deducted, not liable, still paid, excess deducted, whatever the case, everything is captured. And all the P&L expenditure and fixed asset are listed, all the expenses amounts are there. Again, those amounts are bifurcated, expenses liable to TDS and expenses not liable to TDS. So those expenses where TDS is liable, applicable amount is shown and actual deduction amount is also shown. So whenever the TDS deducted amount is less than TDS applicable amount, then we calculate disallowance for those expenses. And you can download this report to Excel from here also. So once you click the button, the report will be downloaded. And then on Excel, if you use pivot table on categories and if you use filter on TDS status, you will get ready-made 34 table. 34 table means category wise and expenditure wise TDS details. So ready-made bifurcation is there. You have to just use pivot table and your TDS scrutiny will be completed. Now, in tax audit tables, we provide cash sections like ready-made report is there for section 48.3. Oh, so sorry. Section 48.3, 10,000 is the limit for normal payments, 35,000 is for transporters. Then we can see 269 TSS, ST will be there for deposit loans and acceptance of deposit or payment of loans, whatever the case may be. So the single day total of the day will be captured, and if the limit is crossed by the total day, total amount of a single day, then it will be shown in the report. Then probable unsecured loan means these are the debtors and creditors where only receipt and payment entries are there, no purchases, no sales, no JV. So suppose any money lending or money borrowing activities are there and they are hidden under debtors and creditors, then we go through all the debtors and creditors and we list down the debtors and creditors having only receipt and payment entries. You can go through the shortlisted list, and whenever the suspicious transactions are there, you can get those ledgers under your 216 and SST reporting. Then related party transactions are there as per tick mark done by you in debtors, creditors, loans and advances and loans and liability. Report will be generated, and only thing is relation with the party and nature of transaction you have to fill in by having discussion with the client, because software is not that much intelligent to understand the relation with the party, correct, or nature of transaction. But otherwise, all the details, voucher type, voucher number, date, amount will be provided by the software. Then statutory dues report is there, so you will get TDS, TCS, PA, PSIC, GST, PTRC, etc. So monthly basis report is there. You can see. Now let's take the example of ESIC payable here. So there are multiple statutory dues, but I will be explaining ESIC so that you will understand. Okay. So let's take monthly view. So opening balance of ESIC. So March payment which is pending, the due date is in April is 5357. So in the case of April month, software is showing due date of 15th of April. So this due date is not for payment of April. This due date is for the payment of opening balance. Means March payment to be done before 15th of April. April payment need to be done before May, 15th of May, and so on. So this is the opening balance 5357, and you need to pay this before 15th of April. Now 2262 is the total amount of credit during the month of April. So that is shown separately. And the two columns are there. Whenever the payment is before due date, that will be shown in first column. If payment is after due date, so software is saying voucher number 23, date of payment is 16th of April and amount is 2486. So you can see voucher number 23, instead of 5357, they have paid only 2486, and again delayed payment is there. So software is calculating 1 month delay, and on that 1 month, it is calculating interest. Now, suppose the interest delay is continued, no interest payment is there, then we will calculate cumulative interest also, and the closing balance is matching with the type. Correct. So now it is requested that you have to go through the actual challans paid and actual returns filed, like, because this return is prepared or this report is prepared on the basis of actual entries posted. So dates will be considered from the payment entries. So it may happen that payment is already done before due date, but entry posted after due date. That's why delay is calculated. So you have to be keen while going through this report. It is requested to check the challans also. Then in case of 216 and SST table, you can see all the ledgers where this loan is received or paid is given. Then GST amount, PAN. If the GST or PAN number is there in ledger master, that will be reflected. Then what is the opening balance? What is the closing balance, whether it is squared off or not? Then the receipts are bifurcated. So how the amount is received, whether through cash or bank or ODCC or through JV entry only. What is the amount of interest? How cash is paid through how amount is paid through cash, bank, ODCC or through JV. And highest closing balance during the year will be shown in last year. So ready-made 216 SST is there. And though TCS TDS is not applicable to this company, but for the demo purpose, I am showing this report. So you can see those debtors and creditors where transaction amount is more than 50 lakhs are shown. Then GST number and PAN number is shown. So if GST or PAN is not there, then the rate will be considered as 1%. Otherwise, 0.1% rate will be considered. In case of creditors, we have considered opening balance also, because while calculation of TDS, we deduct opening balance first, then we deduct 50 lakh rupees, we calculated TDS in case of payment to creditors. So you will get all the bill amounts, you will get all the amount of paid or received, and you will get TDS, so TCS applicable amount or actual TCS, and TDS applicable amount or actual TDS, and what is the pending amount of TCS or pending amount of TDS. So comparative analysis is there. Then so these are all about TDS, and so these are the reports available on the tally data only. Maximum possible reports which are available on tally data, those are provided. Other reports which are not available from tally data, if any external input is required, then those reports are not there in the scrutiny. Let's take GST reports, then we can have aging analysis, analytical report, some of the 2A to B reconciliation. So I will be showing important reports only. So here GST scrutiny is there. So on screen, we will be showing only fail reports, but if you download this report to Excel, you will get all pass and fail entries. So first thing is software is saying it is fail. Unlike TDS, here we are showing all the voucher number, date, etc. So GST amount is also matching. There is an error. So according to software, CGST, SGST applicable, but IGST is posted. Now this company is from Maharashtra and the ledger is in the ledger is from Delhi, from nomenclature only. So IGST should be there, but according to software, CGST, SGST should be there. So why it is so? So if you go to this ALA, Admin Devices, Delhi. So address is from Delhi only, but GST number used is GST number from Maharashtra. So tally company number is from Maharashtra. The ledgers, the master is containing same number from same numbers with number from Maharashtra. So technically there should be CGST, SGST entry according to software. So you have to take correct course of action. If GST number is wrong, then you have to change the GST number. If entry is wrong, then you have to change the entry. Or in this case, you can see CGST posted is 27,500 and SGST posted is 22,500. Technically, both should be 22,500. So there are multiple permutation combinations of wrong GST accounting is there. Like instead of input, output is used, or one input CGST ledger is used and output SGST ledger is used, or both the CGST ledgers are used. So there are n number of permutation combination. All are captured by the software automatically. Then there are two reports. I will be showing this on Excel. So we will be providing you party-wise summary. Here you will get all the parties, rates, amounts, and input-output bifurcation. And another report is P&L-wise summary. So I have added two columns manually. One is for GSTR 9 and 9C. Now GSTR 9, 9C is not our responsibility if the threshold limit is not crossed by the turnover. But suppose any client is requesting us to file the GSTR 9, 9C, then we have to bifurcate the data and file the return. So ready-made data bifurcation is there. You can see we have captured direct expenses, fixed asset, indirect expenses, indirect income, purchases, and sales. So if you want to bifurcate sales rate wise, just pick sales group and you have to use pivot table on GST rate column, you will get all the sales rate wise. Now in GSTR 9, GSTR 9 wants us to bifurcate data. So I will remove the income ledgers. GSTR 9 wants total GST on services or total GST on capital goods or total GST on normal goods. So simple trick is read the nomenclature and go on writing whether it is service, whether it is capital goods, whether it is normal goods. How many ledgers are there? There are 55 ledgers. So go on writing for 55 times and use pivot table on this column. You will get ready-made bifurcation of data. Similarly, in GSTR 9C, table number 14 contains 18 heading. So now freight is the ready-made heading available. You can use freight, but labor charges heading is not available. But employee cost heading is available. So use employee cost. So try to use whenever the matching headings are available. Otherwise, use other expenditure heading. So write down. Basically, there are 18 headings, and we have to fit all the 55 ledgers in those 18 headings. So go on writing applicable headings to the 55 ledgers and use pivot table on this column. You will get ready-made table number 14 of GST 9. And we will, from this only, you can see whether any block credit is there. So because expenditure wise bifurcation is there, you can find out the block credit. And we will be providing you RCM reports. So there are many reports, but I will be showing important reports only. So because in RCM there is either they can calculate everything in Excel and they can pass final entry, or they can have a control ledgers in Tally. So instead of going through the accounting style, what we have done, we will, depending upon your configuration. So the success of the output is depending on your configuration, garbage in, garbage out. Okay. So it take around 4 or 5 Tally companies so that you will understand how to configure the company properly. And depending upon your configuration, we will be providing these results. Like in this case, we have given all the expenses where RCM is liable. So you have to decide the expenses where RCM is liable. You have to decide the rates, and accordingly we will calculate monthly RCM. So, like for example, in the case of this April, 1754 is the RCM. So you have to go and see whether actual RCM is less than exact RCM is there or less than RCM, less than this amount is there, then it is problem. If any higher RCM is considered, then it is also a problem. So you have to just compare this the table with actual RCM, and you can have correct understanding of the RCM accounting. So there are aging analysis is there. Right now the aging analysis report is on FIFO basis because we have tried the bill-wise accounting aging analysis, but I can say around 80 to 85% people don't follow bill-wise accounting. And in the remaining cases also, I can say in 90% of cases they pass on account entries. So instead of knocking off bills, they pass on accounting entries. That's why our closing balances will not be matching with their closing balances. So to remove this problem, we have come up with the FIFO method. And so what is FIFO? We take the total of payment and then we first adjust opening balance. Then we go on deducting the bills in chronological sequence, and remaining bills, unpaid bills, will be shown over here. So the closing amount will be shown over here, whether it is in credit or debit is shown, and the bifurcation is done as per bucket 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, more than 180, and so on. So again, voucher wise details are there. So party wise, voucher wise details with voucher number, date, amount is shown. Now, if you use credit to all vouchers, and if you use amount number of days outstanding more than 181, so more than 180 days, then as per rule 37, you will find out all the vouchers or all the opening balance where payment is not done for more than 6 months. Then you have to reverse the input credit as per rule 37 of GST. So all the details are given. Next thing is analytical. Analytical reports are there. So I can read only headings and you will understand the report that account squared off during the year or asset addition deletion report. It is the report which is applicable for tax audit tables. We will calculate number of days of addition or number of days of deletion also. And if narrations are there, narration will be given. So whether it is addition, deletion, everything will be given in the ready-made table. Now this company is not bill-wise accounting, otherwise bill-wise references will be there. Then creditors with income and sales. So this is the exception report. Technically, creditors should have purchase and expenditures, but the income and sales entries are posted. So you can see even through JV voucher type also, if income entries are there, we will be showing those entries. So creditors having receipt entries, creditors having no purchases, you can have a discussion with client why purchases are stopped, or debtors having purchase and expenses, or debtors having no sales entry, or debtors having payment entry. So there are varied reports provided, or no transaction during the year, income with no debtors, income with payments. So multiple reports are there. So just nomenclature only will give the details of the report. Then cash report. Here we are providing you the details of how much cash is deposited in bank or ODCC, or how much cash is withdrawn from bank ODCC on monthly basis and cash ledger wise. So if multiple ledgers are there, then multiple reports will be provided. And important thing is 44AB. So in section 44AB, so I have clicked multiple times. So in section, I can now show this report in Excel also. So in as per section 44AB, whenever you are 1 minute, I will show this report in. Okay, cash report. Yeah. So how much amount of cash is deposited in bank, ODCC, or withdrawal from bank and ODCC is shown. Now, if the tally company is having turnover more than 1 crore, but below the tax audit threshold limit, then you have to see whether the total cash receipts are more than 5% of the total tally receipt, or total cash payments are more than 5% of total tally payment. So all the contra entries are excluded in this case. So accordingly, you can find out whether tax audit is applicable or not. Okay. Then we will be providing you negative cash. I think fine. I will just open it again. So you can get whether the bank is in negative or cash is in negative. All the reports are there. And you can have previous results immediately. So you don't have to again go and run the scrutiny. You will get the previous report immediately. So the data checks are there. You can see accounts with no GST or PAN or duplicate GST numbers are there. Now, this is very important. Whenever the accounts with GST or PAN are not there, the list will be provided. So, what happens when if you ask accountant to update everything, all the GST number or PAN number, he because of laziness he won't be updating everything. So there should be some automatic process. So we have given this update tally button over here, and you can download all the ledger masters or all the ledger vouchers. Okay, so I have downloaded all the ledger masters. Uh, I will show what is the idea. So these are the ledger masters in Excel, and you can update whatever you want. So be it PAN number, GST number, email, phone, mobile, address, whatever the details, missing details you can update here in Excel. And once you use this upload ledger master button, everything will be updated in Tally. Similarly, you can download all the vouchers. Now it is a beta version right now, and it will work on only full version of Tally. So we are working on that. So ledger masters are working very fine. Ledger vouchers, they are not that much user friendly right now, but I will be updating. So once you download ledger vouchers, we will be giving suggestions that these are the problems with the vouchers. Do you want to update the voucher? If you say yes, we can add additional vouchers, we can change existing vouchers, we can change date, rate, amount, narration, whatever the requirement, whatever the changes you are asked, and accordingly the updation of tally will be done automatically. So in this way, we will be saving your time. So finalization of tally will be very easy. Then what is duplicate GST number? So any single GST number is used more than one ledger. Okay. So this Acme system GST number is used in Agni devices. That's why the CGST, HGST query was raised by the software. So with this problem also, it is very difficult to have GS2A and 2B reconciliation. So you have to go and change all the details. Then we will be providing you duplicate PAN, duplicate vouchers. Duplicate vouchers means same narration, same party, same invoice number, same amount. That will be considered as duplicate. Then what is probable purchase and sale? So software will read the narration. According to narration, it has found with the word keyword PV, and threshold limit. I have kept threshold limit as per audit materiality rupees 5,000. So accordingly, software is thinking that TV's purchase more than 5,000 is the amount, and it is debited to P&L account. So it is saying verify whether it is purchase of asset entry because it is debited to P&L account. Or similarly, rack word is found, amount is more than 5,000 and it is credited to sales. So software is saying verify whether it is sale of asset. So it draws your attention, then you have to check the details whether it is actually a purchase or sale of the asset. So spell checks are there. So wrong spelling mistakes will be shown like telephone, deferred is wrong. So whenever the provident word is wrong, preliminary is wrong. Okay. And verify creditors and data entries. So status will be shown as not pass and fail, it is shown as explain because this can be adjustment entries. For example, you can see verify debit entries. So technically there should be debit of purchase account, input GST, direct, indirect expenses and fixed asset. But in this case, sales account is debited to creditor. So it may be adjustment entry, or here you can say technically there should be credit of cash bank, OTCC and TDS, but input indirect income is credited to creditor. So you can go through all the entries whenever you found that something suspicious or some problematic entries there, you can have discussion. So you can have verify creditors entries and data entries. Okay. Again, there is a keyword search option is there. So if you want to find out any personal nature expenditure, you can find it out. Suppose you can write down any word. So it is actually a control F feature given. It is like just a control F feature of your Excel or Word. Okay. So suppose I use word bill, and option is up to you whether you want to find out this word in narrations or ledgers and groups. I am saying I want to find it in all the areas. You can decide the date range, and with the submit button, you will get all the vouchers where the bill word is used. So this feature can be useful to find out previous year expenditures or personal nature expenditures. Anything whatever the word you punch in, you will get all the details of the vouchers. So with this, there are some complementary tools like reconciliation of opening balance. Like what we do, we finalize tally company in our office. We provide all adjustment entries, depreciation entries, closing entries, and client is unaware of those details. So when we get the data from client in next year, it is our duty to see whether closing balances are matching with the opening balances. So suppose now I am showing this report on same tally company, but you will understand the concept. Suppose this is the previous year company and this is the current year company. You have to pull the tally data. You have to open both tally companies in same tally. Then you can pull the tally data. Now, this is very important. You have to verify whether only balance sheet related groups are mapped. Okay, so there should not be tick mark to P&L related ledgers. Okay, if the tick mark is there, then you have to untick those details, and then you can run the scrutiny. Now, couple of things you have to keep in mind. Firstly, you have to take the backup of both the tally companies for previous year as well as current year. Okay, then you have to split the data. For previous year tally company, you will be splitting data up to 31st of March. And for a current year tally company, you will be splitting data from 1st of April. And you have to open both the tally companies in same tally. Why splitting is required? Because it is the problem with tally. If you don't split the company, suppose the tally company is continuation from 2001, then if you go for auto update of tally feature, it will update everything on 1st April 2001. Now you want to update everything on 1st April 2022. So you have to split the tally company from 1st April 2022. Okay. But if the auto update tally feature is used, then you can update the tally entries in new tally company so that you don't have to again split the tally data and update opening balances. You can, so our software will compare both the tally data. It will find out the difference between the entries. What are the entries in older company and what are the entries in new company, and the missing entries will be automatically added into new company so that your opening balances will be automatically tied. That feature will be very handy and useful. Yes, now software is comparing all the ledgers from previous year company with the current year company. If ledger is found, it will be shown as found in new company. If ledger is not found, it will be shown as not found in the company. Then those ledger, right now you have to manually punch in, but with update tally feature, you can update anything automatically. Then previous year closing balances can be compared with the, so software is comparing previous year closing balances and new year opening balances. Whenever there is a difference, if no difference is there, it will be shown as no. Okay. I think I have wrongly say no to yes. Okay. So I will select all first. So whenever there is a difference, it will be treated as no, and whenever there is a difference, it will be treated as yes. So minus is debit amount and plus is credit amount. So if you select all yes, you will get all the ledgers where there is a difference between closing and opening balance. So either you can download this report to Excel, ask the accountant to update everything, but due date is there, you don't have that much time for waiting the update from accountant. So you can directly say update tally and our software will go and update everything. So this confirmed opening balance will be updated in new tally company. So if you pull data again, you will find everything is matching. So no mismatch will be there. And you must be using one of the other GST tool, but this is our two-way reconciliation tool. 2-3 USPs are there. Like suppose you are having a group company, then having a single GST number, then you have to open all the companies in same tally. You have to tick mark those company and you have to download the .json files of those companies. So you can have 1 month .json file or you can have the 12-month JSON file. Only thing is so all the JSON files are kept in zip format. So don't unzip in totality. Unzip each JSON file separately and go on writing separate name. Like you can provide name like April, May, June, or 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever the case may be. But every JSON file should have distinct name so that software will identify easily. And again, you must be knowing that accountant never punch in full invoice number. So for probable match, for finding out probable match, the probable match conditions are given. You can tick mark the conditions as per your requirement, and accordingly, software will detect the probable match. So I have this report ready-made available in Excel to save the time. There are 3 reports. One is summary of the details, then JSON file reconciliation. So here the 5 areas are there. Like now what I will select for GST or PAN not found. Now you must be seeing that most of the time GST or PAN are not entered in the tally, and the problem with JSON file is it is providing only GST number. It will not be providing the name of the supplier. So what we do, we capture GST number, we compare this GST number with the tally data, and then we will find out the supplier details. So if GST number or PAN number is not there, we will not be able to reconcile the data. So that is the problem. So we have to update all GST and PAN numbers, either PAN or GST. Then invoice not found means from GST number we have found out the party, but as GST number details, invoice numbers are not there or invoices are not found in from tally, we are not able to reconcile the data. So that is also a problem. Then what is match found? So we have found out the party from GST number, we have found out the invoices also, and everything is matching. So taxable amount from Json, taxable amount from tally is matching, and even GST amount is also matching. Now the rounding of amount is given. You have in generic configuration, you have to decide the rounding of amount. Okay, so right now I have used 2 rupees. So any difference up to rupees 2 will be considered as match. Any single paisa difference more than 2 rupees will be considered as mismatch. This option is given because I am having one client having 950 crores of turnover and they are on still tally. They are customers tally in very good way. Now they ask me that up to rupees 150, we are having cost of rupees 150 to follow those parties and get things updated. So please provide the rounding of difference up to 150 rupees. So it is up to you, depending upon your audit materiality, you can decide the rounding of difference. It may be 2 rupees, it may be 1000 rupees. It is up to you. And accordingly, software will check whether it is matching or not. Next option is mismatch. Mismatch means difference more than 2 rupees in this case. So you can see taxable amounts are not matching with tally amount. Even the GST amounts are all not matching. So it is a mismatch. And right now, last option is probable match. Probable match means very important feature. Like original invoice number is CM44398, but in tally only 44398 is there. Or in original number PUN there is no space. PUN 1819, but in tally PUN space 1819 is there. Or a classic example is this TRI oblique 1819 oblique 2186, but in tally only 2186 is punched. All those vouchers are captured, all the invoices are captured, and depending upon the matching criteria, as just I explained to you, we are showing these details as probable match. Now another report is there in tally, not in JSON. This means this is the credit. These are the parties from where we are claiming the credit, but they have not updated their report. So you have to follow up those parties and ask them to update their returns so that we will get the credit. And last report is there. This is to satisfy that we have considered all the GST entries. So this is the total GST amount from JSON and this is the total GST amount from tally. There is a difference of 292925.85. And this difference is reconciled because we are not able to find out the parties because GST PAN is not there, or invoices are not found by us because those invoices are not there in tally, or mismatch amount in JSON. In tally is showing correct amount, but JSON is showing wrong amount. Or mismatch in tally means JSON is showing correct amount, but tally is showing wrong amount. Or in tally, not in JSON. So formula is A plus B plus C minus D minus. So you can see there is only 2 rupees difference. So rounding of difference is there. So we have considered all the GST entries, nothing is left. Otherwise, this difference will be huge. And we have given the match amount found from JSON and probable match amount, as I just said. On similar basis, GSTR 2A, 2B reconciliation is also done. So these are the reports. I have shown you important reports from Ledger Vision. Let's jump to Ledger Fusion. I will be showing this in only 5 minutes because I am not going into details of modus operandi of Ledger Fusion, but I will be showing you the results only. So let's select that company first, then I can show you the details. So this is the company. Period is 2020. Okay. Let's open Ledger Fusion first. So as I said, we pulled previous year and current year data. Okay, just the version is updated from our side. So in Ledger Vision, you may have 2 options. Either you must be having a single company with all previous year data and current year data, okay, or you must be having 2 different companies, split tally companies having previous year data in separate company and current year data in separate company, okay. So you have to select the companies, you have to select the current year here, and while pulling the current year data, you must be keen. You must select the current year period in tally as well as current year company, pull the current year data, and while pulling the previous year data, select that company and that period in tally, and then pull the previous year. Okay. So data means we pull opening. So for previous year or opening current year, we pull opening and closing balances as well as total debit and total credit details for each ledger. Okay. Now, some of the CS told me that we don't want comparative analysis, we want only current year balance sheet. In that case, you have to tick the current year balance sheet, then you will get only current year data. Now, because it is a private limited company, I am using Schedule 3. Otherwise, you can select partnership, HUF, individual. As I said, trust, AOP, BOI will be there. Then Ind AS balance sheet will also be there. Again, the vertical balance sheet or horizontal balance sheet option will be there because as per WRC guidelines, LLP balance sheet should be in vertical format. So the option will be there in the features. And you can have rounding off because Schedule 3 requires rounding off of the amount. So you can have rupees in 100, thousands, lakhs or crores. Now you have to decide how many. So this information is not available in Tally. So as per your knowledge, you have to decide how many number of classes of shares are there, how many promoters are there. In this company, only one equity share class is there and two promoters are there. Then you can download the configuration. So I have ready-made configuration with me. To save the time, I will show that only. Actually, configuration is only a Excel data. It is the opening and closing trial balance. Okay. So you will get, so you can see how the data is arranged. So main group, current liabilities, then subgroup is syndicators. Then again one subgroup is there, syndicators for supplier, and then ledgers will be shown. This is the hierarchy. So if the direct subgroup is there and direct second subgroup is there, then it will be shown as current assets to whatever the group. Okay. So main group, then subgroup, then again subgroup, and then ledger. It is the hierarchy. So you can see, there is a note list provided by MCA 21. What should be note 1, what should be note 2, what are the subnotes in the note 2, what are the subnotes in the note 3, and so on. So we have mapped everything automatically from Tally ledger grouping. Okay. So you can see software is automatically mapping everything. Like all the creditors are kept under trade payable, all the data, even you can, now this is up to you. You have to decide whether it is secured, unsecured, doubtful, whatever the case may be. Accordingly, data will be bifurcated, but whether it is data or creditor, it will be mapped by the software automatically. And yeah, so now 4.3, there are a couple of things you have to keep in mind. Because we are pulling only financial vouchers, suppose your closing balance is maintained through stock items, then right now we are not able to pull the stock item related data. That's why the closing balance will be shown as 0. So in final balance sheet, you have to punch in the closing balances manually in Excel. So that is right now manual intervention is required. Then whenever there are spelling mistakes like in deferred tax, accumulated depreciation, some of the assets we don't know, we are given the entire list in code, but there are many assets which we are not aware of that. So in those cases, you have to see whether correct mapping, like in case of assets, you have to see whether it is correctly mapped as plant and machinery, furniture, office equipment, vehicle, computer, whatever the case may be. So one-time configuration, thorough intervention is required. Then next time onward, it will be plug and play. In updated version, I will be providing you additional column over here, so that suppose there are 3 ledgers like printing and stationery 5%, 12%, and 20%. If you write printing and stationery in front of these 3 ledgers, all the ledgers will be mapped. All the ledgers will be clubbed by the system, and the name used by you in this column will be used by the software. So it will be help you in presenting better balance sheet. That update will be there. Now there are questions asked. So if you go to this, you can write down the name of the company, address, scene. Then you can write down the name of the person, DIN, etc. Okay. Go on writing everything, you will get auditors details, etc. And accordingly, you can write down the authorized share capital details, issued share capital details, promoter details. Okay. And then you have to save the file, close the file, and upload that configuration over here. And once you upload the configuration, there is option with you. If you want detailed view, you can tick this box, or you can have a condensed view. And then while preparation of balance sheet, again, there are 2 options. Suppose you have calculated your company law, depreciation, income tax law, income tax act, depreciation, deferred tax, MAT, current tax, whatever the case may be, and you have passed all the Tally accounting entries. Only thing is balance sheet is pending. Then you just say okay, and software will prepare the balance sheet as per Tally data. But if if you have not calculated anything, then you can calculate everything for you, like MAT, current tax, depreciation, and deferred tax. Once you say okay, balance sheet will be prepared. And I have ready-made balance sheet with me. So you will get cover page. You will get auditor details. You can add the annual report number. You will get company details. Then standard output for management representation certificate is there. Okay. So standard pointers are there. You can use these. You can add. You can delete because it is in Excel. Everything can be altered. Okay. So now this is the balance sheet. So you can see all the links are provided. All the totals, all the formulas are provided. Even hyperlinks are provided. You can jump to note and you can jump back to balance sheet again. And the signatory details, everything will be there. Standard output is there. You can just take a printout and sign. Okay. Then P&L account is there. Notes, all the notes one below the other are given. So as per the question and answers provided by you, you have prepared authorized capital details, issued capital details. Only thing is name of shareholders you have to punch in manually because there can be huge list of name of shareholders. So we have just given you the pending format, blank format. You can update everything. Now, significant accounting policies and notes are given. Standard pointers are there. You can use your own details or you can alter this. You can change whatever you want. Now, there are many disclosure requirements and we are struggling with this. I'm sure that we will be coming with some solution. As you know, we are pulling only previous and current year data and they are asking us for less than 1 year, up to 1 to 2 year, 2 to 3 year and more than 3 years aging analysis. And because we are pulling only opening and closing balances, right now aging analysis is not there. You have to take help of ledger vision for first and second year aging. You can use aging done by ledger vision. But there is a problem for 2 and 3 years and more than 3 years because if the companies are split, that is a problem. If continuing data is there, then we have to make sure that correct data is updated for opening and closing details. So right now it is a very problematic situation, but I will be finding out some solution. So most of the users requested me to give blank format. So I have given blank format. Now there are some of the outputs which are not available from Tally, like title deeds of immovable property not held in the name of company or index of charges or details of Benami property. So many details are there. So we have given only disclosure requirements. If those requirements are not applicable, you can delete the details. Then ready-made ratio analysis is there. Only thing is DSCR is not there. Why? Because we are pulling only opening and closing balances. So we don't know what is the actual repayment of principal amount during the year. So DSCR is not there. Then cash flow, standard cash flow is there. You can have cash flow from operating activities, from investing activities, from financing activities, and signatory details are there. Disallowance is there. Now, because we want to calculate income tax, you have to punch in the disallowance also. So, with respect to section heads, you can go on writing the disallowances. Only thing is that you have to maintain the rounding of details. Like if you are using rupees in 100, then you have to punch in the disallowance in rupees in 100. If you are using rupees in lakh, then you have to punch in disallowance in rupees in lakhs. Now, in case of income tax, you have to decide the rate of income tax here. From top down only, you can decide the rate. And software will calculate MAT and it will calculate the income tax also. But for calculation of income tax, firstly, you have to calculate the depreciation. Standard template is provided. You can punch in all the details over here and you will get ready-made company law depreciation. If you don't want to use this template, use your own template, just copy paste over here and provide the linking. And IT depreciation, for calculation of IT depreciation from previous year report, you have to punch in only WDV and the depreciation will be calculated. Then accordingly deferred tax will be calculated and income tax will be calculated and balance sheet will be tallied. Now for non-corporate clients, the horizontal balance sheet is there. All the presentation is same. Only thing is balance sheet and P&L is in a horizontal format. If you want only current year details, you can have the current year balance sheet also. So this is all from my side. Now it is over to you, sir. We can have a question answer session or suggestions. If any valuable suggestions are there, we can have that thing also. Okay, sir. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Niranjan ji, for such a elaborate explanation of your software.
Yes, sir.
And I would
Achha, one
request
thing I have
any-
missed, I will just let you know the one thing. 1 minute. I will open my website. So you can download our demo version from our website. It is leisurevision.in. In overview page, you will get our YouTube channel. So you will get all the detailed video, small video, huge, longer video for Leisure Vision. You have to just click the channel name. And for downloading the demo version, you can use try it free for Leisure Vision and Leisure Fusion for downloading Leisure Fusion. You have to just fill in the Google form and you will get the demo version. Now, demo versions are with all the features. Some restrictions are there, like for Leisure Vision, only April, May, June scrutiny is there. But you can contact me. I will be providing you full version for a couple of days with 4 or 5 tally companies. We will be helping you in scrutinizing 1 or 2 tally companies, and you can try it on your own for remaining 3 or 4 tally companies, so that you can satisfy yourself whether the software is providing you satisfactory results or not, and then you can go for buying the software. Yes, sir. Over to you now.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Friends, I would like to first of all thank Niranjan ji for the elaborate presentation. At the same time, TaxBar, sir, it is purely it's not a sponsorship, not from any side we have received from Niranjan ji's lecture vision. It is purely on the merits of the software which was discussed. We have called him as a speaker, sir. Like, so, you know, many of the times what we thinking is as a sponsored program. No, sir. This will increase the efficiency. For that purpose, it has been called for. And that is the reason such a detailed time has been given to the speaker as a presentation. And now I request our Sachin Chairman, Premnath, for his remarks, because I feel he has been using this software, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
your view, sir.
So I just quickly share the screen.
Yes, I will stop my sharing.
So day in and day out, our article students, what they will be doing, rather let it be an article student or accounting assistants. What they'll be doing day in and day out is vouching, gathering the evidence. So nowadays, thanks to GST, most of our purchases or inward supplies are gathered in GST invoices. So 2A, 2B, the GST system itself is validating. So non-GST is very little. Next, verification, ledger scrutiny, preparation of financials, tax calculations, filling and filing, documentation, pack the total once it is filed, pack the total documentation or a file, and then bill them. These are all the 9 critical activities that an article student will be doing. Now, after listening to the presentation, you yourself can take how much you can now rely on the article student, how much you yourself can do it without relying on the article student. You can tick on this and have a comfortable view on the ledger vision. If not ledger vision, I'm not for a while trying to discourage you from buying ledger vision or anything like that. But if you can go into Tally, lot of configuration issues are missing from the client's place. If you are able to do lot of configuration issues, 90% of our practice challenges will be out of it. And anyone who is using Tally thoroughly, they'll understand what I'm talking. But however, I strongly suggest, if not ledger vision, there are many products in the market. You can try any of those. And we should thank Niranjan for saying that, Array, you use my product for 4 or 5 companies. And if you are satisfied, then only you can go in. That's a challenge that is throwing. That's very fantastic. I don't think any supplier will come forward saying, "Arey, you use for 4 or 5." What I'm saying is, like this, if there are any products you use, start using 3 or 4, and then you can buy it. Like today, today I say, without without Genius or without Computax or without Taxman, we are not able to work today. And without Tally also, we can't work now today. Without Swiggy, without Ola, these are all apps, and this is an app. The Ledger Vision is an app. Taxman is an app. Genius is an app. So we have to walk into these apps, consolidate it, so that we will less depend on the staff and article students, and definitely our efficiency will go up. Definitely our margins also will go up now, because earlier you are depending on the article student and they make mistakes, and over a period of time we get addicted to them, and whatever he says we believe. Now all those things have gone. Now everything is under our scrutiny, everything you see, and you will also surprise to see, last year these students have made so many mistakes. You will be surprised also sometimes. Now, because you are using a software, probably your tax filings and all will also get the notices for the defects will also come down drastically. And not only that, Chartered Accountant Institute's DC proceedings have been elaborate now, and NEFRA kind of surveillance is increasing. Everywhere surveillance is increasing. And more than that, before I file the return, the income tax site itself has so much of information. That is a very funny thing going on today. Like, before the client gives the document, AIS and all those Form 26 AIS, FSI, whatever you call, all those things are filled with data. That is surprising today. And over a period of time, department will say, you don't file the return. I will file the return, you just correct it. Probably we are marching towards that situation. However, that's another issue. But the point what I'm trying to say here again and again, at the cost of boring you, is 9 activities we are doing it. For all the 9 activities, you see how much can be automated, how much you can do it on your own. Then that makes the life more fantastic. Okay. In addition to this, I said one more thing I'll just share quickly. Let me just stop this and then share another. Yeah. So this is the Google sheet. This is a Google sheet where if you just start entering the data here, like say, for example, on 31st March 2019, like say, I'll just say petrol 50, just say, for example, minus 500 INR. So here, is this a sale or a purchase? This is, I can write anything, whatever. Like say, for example, I'll just make it as repairs. Now you go on to the profit and loss account. Your profit and loss account is updated. The category is whatever you want to do it. Your dashboard is ready, and so on. So once if you are able to drop your bank statement on this and start making what it is, or if your client can start making this online, if the sheet is shared, with the users, and if they can start making it, some of the work, at least some of the work, what they have to do, if they are doing it in an automated form, where instantly you will also be getting the information and you can go on correcting it online. So these are certain small techniques which are today available online. If we start using it, we can enjoy the practice. Youngsters, yes, they are able to do it much better. But a chartered accountant like me, who is almost 55 plus now, slowly learning skills come down, the patience and efficiencies are coming down, and there is no support from the articles and all. At this point of time, we need to come out with click, drag and drop kind of a tools, so that our practice, we can start enjoying practice with new tools and all. So I have been using Ledger Vision, and many of them are using Ledger Vision. It's very good. Along with that, there are many other products. You can try all those products, but I have tried all those and I have settled with Ledger Vision. Okay, this is what from my side. I hand it over to the organizers.
Thank you, Premnath sir.
Sir.
Now I'll do one thing. Any questions members can ask for the questions, and I'll also have given the option to unmute themselves. They can unmute and ask the question. Any questions, members can please ask the question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Voice is
So
not
I think,
audible.
I think there are no questions, huh? So there are no questions in the chat box as well, I think.
Only one
Mr.
question
Anand
is
was
there.
asking the question, but I think the voice is
Not audible.
Okay, no problem. So they can put the question in the chat box also. And I don't see any
In
questions
chat
here.
box, Sarang Shah sir has asked one question. Can we have custom Excel sheet linked to get accounting done for, let us say, contract notes for shares and F&O? Yes, sir. So with our auto-update tally feature, you can do this thing because it is very pain area, adding details of F&O trading. So you can copy paste everything in Excel and everything will be automatically entered in tally. That feature will be there very shortly. Okay.
Right, sir. So with this, I think we come to the end of the session. Sir,
Correct.
from tax bar side, sir, what is that we can all get as a benefit? Now, since we are all association, what are the benefits which we can get from Ledger Vision?
Yeah, yes.
As a group.
So right now I will just announce the pricing and I will be providing
sir.
you 30% discount straight away because you have provided me such a good platform. Right now, the single user Ledger Vision is for 15,000. You will get 30% discount on that. Or if you are going for a multi-user, it is for 30,000. You will get it for around 20,000 because of 30% discount. Okay. And if you go for Ledger Fusion, it is single user for 10,000 and multi-user for 20,000. But these are the standard pricing. Depending upon your users, your tally companies, we can decide the deal. But you will be definitely getting 30% or more discount. That I can make you sure. Okay. So,
Okay.
because as you said, there is no sponsorship from our side. So this is a indirect sponsorship from our side.
Yes, sir. That's what we want.
Yes. Sir.
So, Premnath sir, do you watch for the discount, sir? Or anything
Yeah,
more we can negotiate, sir?
Look, that's what he's saying. See, if I'm having only 10 companies, then Niranjan itself is saying that
Yes,
I can
so basically
negotiate.
prices ranges from 5,000 to 30,000 depending upon number of tally companies and number of users. So it is very difficult to provide standard pricing, but definitely I will be providing a huge discount and we can decide the deal. So this is one time pricing and next year onward there will be AMC. Right now it is Rakesh sir is saying if 5 use, okay, so we can decide the number of companies and we can decide the amount also. Or if you want, we can decide the per tally company price also. So That we can discuss on
So
phone.
can we have standard 5 companies? Because the first initial countries, we have to match all the ledgers, everything. So basic 5 companies, if you give us
I
the
will be providing you full version for 5 companies. You have to just call me and our team will help you out. They will download full version and you can have 5 companies. Then we can decide the pricing. So, sir, price is not big issue right now. I
Okay,
just
sir,
want
done.
you to use the software, get yourself
Okay.
satisfied. Then we can decide. Okay.
What I say is,
Yes, sir.
even I have 10 companies, 1,000, 10 companies, 10,000, 1,000 per company
Per company. Correct.
is less than a mandi biryani.
Yes. Correct.
So if I have an article student carrying out the same work, he'll be doing for 1 month, and the article student cost or an accountant cost is somewhere around 7,000 to 10,000.
Correct.
So the 7,000 work is being getting done by 1,000. It's say, for example, even 2,000-3,000 rupees additional work and all. It is a big difference that 1,000 rupees, that 10,000 rupees is making. Like, you know, when we have used that compute tax and then all those taxman, genius, all that, in those days also the same question arises, sir, can you give me a discount and all. But today, we are not asking discount. We are saying, we are telling them, sorry, we don't mind paying another 5,000. So I think pricing, yes, Niranjan, is always good to reduce it. But I strongly suggest, as we are going for Ola, Swiggy, online booking and all these things, today it is high time that we need to depend on apps, less depend on the employees. Okay.
There's one question from Mr. Rakesh, sir. He's asking, is the software cloud-based?
Yes, sir. So our multi-user software supports your VPN, remote desktop, cloud, in computing, whatever networking solution you are using for work from home. So for that you have to go for multi-user, but it is on cloud also.
Well, sir, with this, I think we have come to the end of our question answer session, sir. And thank you, Niranjan ji, for enlightening us on the automation process.
Yes, thank
And
you, sir.
we also thank Premnath sir for sharing up this session, sir. So now over to the secretary, sir.
Because Premnath sir was there, I was very confident.
Thank you so much, sir, Niranjan sir and Premnath sir, for enlightening us on the topic automatic tally ledger scrutiny and financial statement preparation with the help of software. We, the members of the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Tax Bar Association, are enriched with the knowledge that was shared with us, sir. Thank you so much. So now I request our treasurer to propose Hitesh AP Avadesh ji to propose a vote of thanks. Over to you, Avadesh ji. You have to unmute, sir. Hitesh ji, you have to unmute him.
Abdesh ji, please unmute yourself, sir.
Unmute yourself.
I think Avdesh is disconnected. Secretary, sir, will you propose the vote of thanks, sir?
Yeah, you go ahead, sir, please.
Okay, sir. Yeah. Sir, it's my indeed pleasure to propose a vote of thanks for today's program. And friends, it's a dire need that we now automate the process of our offices and see that the mistakes which happen in the offices, and there has been a case where like 2 months back there are 100 CAs were issued notices from the institute saying that the financial statements were not as per the Schedule 3 requirement. So there is a dire need that the automation has to be done and the systems are in place. And we thank our speaker, CA Niranjan ji, for taking us and enlightening us on this software. We thank on behalf of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Tax Bar Association our session chairman, B. Premnath, and for his insights on the software. And we thank all the participants for sparing their time and putting on this Saturday afternoon for this Thank you one and all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.